There we go. I think we're good now. Hi there. How's everyone doing? Let me just check and see if I am live and on YouTube. I believe I am. There we go. Day 4. Woo woo! All right, friends. So, as you know, I have been coming live every day. For each day a new fabulous Halloween treat. And today's Halloween treat is so much fun. Okay, I need to adjust a little bit different. So let me just see if that works. We don't need to be zoomed out too much. Um, the wonders of YouTube are that it's weird. Okay, let me just go out a little. Okay, and that is going to be good, I think. All right, let's see if it will focus in again. There we go. Maybe it'll focus in. So weird. Okay, all right, friends. Day 4 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. I am so excited to be here with you this evening. I have a super cute little treat box to share with you, and this one is going to be a lot of fun because you're going to be able to do all kinds of things with it. It's a really good size, and I happened to find this cute little screamer skeleton guy. Where did I find him? Maybe at Cracker Barrel? I'm not sure, but here's what I love about him. He's motion detector, so when I switch him on and get him out of the demo mode, I can stick him to a door or a window or something, and then when someone goes by, it'll scream. All right, so yeah, that's cute. It's fun. The box itself is actually it's a really good size. It's 2.5 by 1 3/4 by about 2 inches tall. So it's a really decent size. You could put some little candies or whatever in it. Let's see if some of these Werther's original pumpkin spice candies would fit in here too. So you can see it holds quite a few little treats there. That'd be very cute too, but I put that window in there because I wanted to be able to see what was inside, and I thought that that skeleton was perfect to go inside of there, so I thought that was absolutely adorable. All right, let's go ahead and get to today's project, shall we? You will find the measurements for this project on my blog later on over the weekend, and you'll be able to get all of the measurements and the supply list and everything else there, okay? All right, let me move this out of the way and show you what we're using. All right, I have a piece of basic black cardstock that measures 5.5 by 6 1/4 inches. We'll be scoring and doing some cutting on this. I have a piece of parakeet party cardstock that measures 3.5 by 4 1/4 inches. And I've got some other little bits and pieces here. So I have some designer series paper. This one measures 1 5/8 by 2 3/8. These two measure 3/4 of an inch by 1 5/8, and these two measure 3/4 of an inch by 2 3/8. These are for the sides, and this is for the lid of our box. And then I have a window sheet piece that also measures 1 5/8 by 2 3/8 of an inch. So I have those there. I'm going to be using the layering, no, not the layering, those stitched rectangles dies. I'm using the more square-ish of them, And I'm going to die cut the center of that. So that's going to make my frame. I'm using the Cottage Wreaths Stampin' Die bundle. We're going to use the little spider and the boo. And then, of course, I'm going to use the little spider die to cut him out. I'm using Memento Black ink for my stamping. And then I also have a couple of little bits and pieces here. This is the Design a Treat. Let me just grab these things here. Okay, I have the Design a Treat box dies, and I'm using one of these little labels right here. It fits perfectly with the boo. And then I'm using the smallest of the Stylish Shapes dies to create that little banner behind it. Okay, so I am using a few different products this evening, but it's all coming together and it's going to be absolutely gorgeous. Okay, all right, and then I also have a little length of ribbon that's approximately 6 inches, and I'm just going to use kind of like this. I'll snip the ends and then cross them over how you see here. Okay, so I've got my label pre-cut already. I have the banner pre-cut already. I have a scrap of basic white cardstock to stamp and die cut the spider with, and then we need to do our measurements. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our stamping first. And these stamps are photopolymer stamps. So I'm going to bring in my Pierce mat. I need my label and my little scrap piece there. So as always, tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And we'll stamp our spider right down. And then the boo, tap, 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 not smush, smush, smush. And line it up in the middle of the tag. Okay, there we go. Now that we have our stamping done, I can get these things out of the way for just a moment. And I'm going to bring in my scoreboard. This is the Simply Scored scoreboard. It makes things super handy to get perfect lines and all the good things here. So we're going to take this piece, and let me grab my template here so I got it. Okay, on the shorter side, we're going to score at 1 7/8 and 3 5/8. So 1 7/8 and 3 5/8. All right, and then we're going to turn the paper to the side now that we're on the 6 1/4 inch side. And we're going to score at 1 7/8 and 4 3/8. All right, so we're going to do that. And then with the smaller piece, I have made this shim, and I know I've talked about it on my blog. I've posted links for it. Connie Stewart actually made this eons ago. And it's absolutely fantastic. It's just a little bit of width here. So it's actually 2 layers of cardstock and a window sheet width here. What that does is it makes your lid just the tiniest bit bigger than your measurements on your base, so that it will fit perfectly on your base. Okay, so I have my little shim here. And we're going to score at 7/8 of an inch on all 4 sides. All right, so when you're using the shim, you can't do 7/8 inch here and then 7/8 inch here, because it would be off. You need that shim there. Okay, so you're always going to do the 7/8 of an inch from the same side, so that way you have a good consistent measurement. Okay. Now this is just a standard box in the scheme of boxes, but we're going to get all of the decorative stuff on here, and it's going to be really cool looking. So let me get this out of the way. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the designer series papers. Excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and add the designer series papers to the front of my lid here. And the wonderful thing about this is that it's going to be easier to put them on this way than it might be to put them on after the box is already assembled. And plus, we're going to use the window piece here, and we're going to cut both of those layers at the same time. That way, they'll be lined up perfectly, and we won't have to worry about trying to line up the rectangles or the window spots rather, once they've already been cut, because they'll be cut to the same size in the exact same position, so it'll be perfect. All right, I'm just going around and adding my designer series paper to each of the 4 sides. I love this fall print on the other side. I kind of hate to get rid of it. This paper is the Celebrate Everything designer series paper from the holiday catalog. This paper is free with a qualifying order or a workshop order. We all love free. I think it's $18 worth of Stampin' rewards, and there's like 48 sheets of paper. I mean, it's fantastic. So I've used a bit of this already for all of my Halloween treat projects, so that's really fun. All right, there we go. So now that we have the DSP on all the sides, I'm gonna line this up, and then I need to grab my die cut machine. Okay, excuse me for using my Big Shot, but my other machine is already packed up for a class I have tomorrow. All right, so what we're going to do here, and I may have to use a piece of washi because this one has my magnetic platform on it, but we'll see. So I want to just line this up in the middle. Okay, best I can get it. And then run it through. And I actually want to run this through a couple of times because it's going through several layers of paper, right? All right, there we go. Thank you, Big Shot. All right. Now then, we can see that it's gone all the way through, so that's good. Save this piece because you can use it for something else. All right, and we're done with that. Now we need to go through and cut our pieces and shape our box. Okay, so what I want to do with this one is right here in these 4 little corners, and I'll go ahead and burnish it and attach this piece before I do that. That way I can see my lines better. All right, what I want to do, I want to take some multi-purpose liquid glue here, and I'm going to go around the inner edges of my frame here. This is just to help me place the window sheet and not get glue on the clear part, because it's kind of a pain in the neck to try to get off again. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to line this up. Press it down nice and easy. There we go. Perfect. All right. Now then, I'll come in with the other piece, give that just a second to dry, and let's burnish these score lines, shall we? Okay. There. There. There we go. And one more. Now bring this one in and do the same thing. We're going to burnish on these score lines. Makes it a lot easier to see where the score lines are when you've got them burnished this way. So it makes it easier to cut and miter the corners when you can see those lines better. There we go. See how they stick out a lot more now. All right, now then, I want to miter the corners, and this is pretty standard practice for a basic box. So I'm cutting just to the inside of my edge here, cut out to the corner, just like so, and I make that little tab. Okay, now I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to do the same thing. And I'll come in here, and again, making these miters. This just helps reduce the bulk right here in the corners, so that when you put the box together, it's a nice smooth finish rather than having these bulky corners. Okay, so it makes it a little bit easier and smoother transition here. Okay, now for the bigger box, for the base, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So I'm cutting just inside the line of the score mark. I'm going to cut that corner out just like that. That's mitering my tabs. Got a little bit crazy on that one, but that's okay. All right, and then this one, same thing. Okay. And then this side, the same thing. Okay, and then here. So a friend of mine sent me a message today and says that it is confirmed that McDonald's is going to be putting their Halloween buckets in rotation starting the 16th of October. So we should be seeing those super cute buckets, which I love so much. And I also saw something which I need to confirm maybe tomorrow. I saw something where McDonald's has brought in or introduced the grown-ups Happy Meal box. Has anyone seen this? I don't know anything about it other than what I saw on Facebook. And, well, we know that Facebook isn't necessarily gospel, so I'm not really sure if I believe it or not. But wouldn't that be great? I know I had seen in the article that I was reading that had talked about it, that they were hoping to have vintage toys or replicas of the vintage toys coming back into those boxes. And I thought, now that would be really cool. And it would be a great way to really sell those. I mean, how many of us would go and get one of those Happy Meals to get the little Transformer pancake box, or those little monster trucks that they had forever ago? Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that be so neat to have some of those, some of our favorite little Happy Meal toys from when we were kids? So cool. I don't know if they'll do it, but hey, McDonald's marketing folks, that's what you should definitely do. All right, here we go. And we're bringing in the sides and just making sure that they're lined up evenly. I'm going to trim that edge there, so that's good. All right, now we have this, and now we're going to do the exact same thing with the lid of the box. So this is a really simple box. The base and the lid are done the exact same way. So again, we're going to put some glue on these tabs, and then we're going to just bring them in and line them up with the edges of our sides just like that. Okay, so what I'm looking for here is a nice clean corner. I'm not pulling it in, I'm not pushing it out, I'm just making it perfectly even, or best I can. And then I'm going to take these two little tabs and tuck them in at the same time so I can attempt to not get glue all over me. Okay, so there we go. And then this one. All right, there we are. Now we'll give it just a second to dry here. And then while this is drying, I'm going to grab my little spider and the die. And let's go ahead and die cut this piece, all right? Okie dokie. go. Looks pretty reasonable. All right. Get that out of the way. There's our spider. All right. Now then, let's get to the decorating part. Let's get to the good stuff. Okay. Now, I'll tell you what. I'm going to go ahead and put these in this box because I want to have something in each of these boxes, of course. And it wouldn't be right to just leave it naked, wouldn't it? Now, these things are so tasty. If you've not seen these yet, they're pumpkin spice soft caramels from Werther's Original, which, of course, Werther's Original are just absolutely spectacular anyway. But these are probably my new favorite candy. I mean, I love them. So, okay, let's see if our box worked. And look at that, like a glove. Isn't that great? So it slides off nice and easy. It doesn't bow the sides of the box, which is what happens sometimes when you make these boxes and you cut and score the same size. You have it kind of pucker and bowing a little bit in here because this measurement is exactly the same as this measurement. So that's where that shim comes in. It gives you just the tiniest little speck of space outside of the size of the base so that it fits just beautifully, and I love it. Okay, just like that, except for that little tail of piece I overcut. There we go. All right, there we go. Okay, now then, I want to put my spider, and I've got this, I've got my ribbon, and I've got my sentiment there. So let me start putting these together. I'm going to grab some black dimensionals here because it's Halloween and I want to keep the dark going. All right, I'll put one of those right there. And come on back. There we go. And I'll put my little spooter right there. Okay. Now then, I'm going to fold this piece of ribbon in half, and I've got it, okay, right there is my middle, so let me trim that there, and then I'm going to add a bit of my Stampin' seal here, okay, and then I'm going to cross these over, so 1 and 2. Okay, let me bring it a little bit more this way. There we go. All right, now then, that one's attached too. Good. Okay. Okay. Now then, I need to get some dimensionals here. So I'm going to put some dimensionals on the backs of this piece. Got 2 of them here. I've already cut along the edges, so that way I get to use up every single stitch of my dimensionals. Okay. And that's going to line up, well, maybe a little better. Maybe a little better. Come on, friend. Ah! I'm crooked. There we go. That's better. All right, and then I want to put another couple here. And we'll attach this part to the ribbon right there in the corner, and it's going to be adorable. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that cute? All right, let me get this out of the way. And now, of course, if I needed to, I could just trim up my ends, but they look pretty good. There we go. All right, there we have it, friends. Day 4 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. How do you like that? I hope you guys really enjoy this because I am having such a terrific time sharing these projects with you. I absolutely love them. All right, so let me set this one aside. This is day 4. And as a reminder, here is day 3 with the little mints. And day 2 for the bag of candy. And day 1 was that extra long holiday cracker die that we have, which is perfectly fabulous. I love it. All right, there we go. The first 4 days of the 13 days of Halloween treats. I hope that you guys have enjoyed these projects. Be sure to stay tuned on Monday for day 5. Now remember, I had told you yesterday I won't be doing live on the weekends, so I will pick right back up again on Monday evening at 8 p.m. and I will bring you day 5 of the 13 days of Halloween treats. All right, be sure to visit my blog, thestampinchick.com, for all of these projects, as well as the measurements and the supply list. You'll be able to find everything that you need there to recreate these projects for yourself. And if there's anything else that I can help you with, please let me know. And if you would like to order any of the products that I've used, please use my host code for this month. And if your order is $50 or more, you will get a free gift from me as well. All right, friends, thank you so very much for stopping by this evening. I hope you enjoyed this project. Until next time, have a wonderful, wonderful evening and a fabulous weekend. Bye for now.